Yo, 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 yo. Man, I want to bring up a super serious topic. Like mental health. Mental health. I feel like mental health is a really popular topic that has been discussed in communities. And, people got mixed emotions on it. And, I just want to discuss one that I ain't gonna say I suffer, but I guess I would say I deal with it. I really don't suffer. I definitely deal with it though. I have anxiety. I've been diagnosed with moderate anxiety, and for me, anxiety when you diagnose is when it's over a period of time. It's not situational. And for me, I constantly deal with it. But for a long time, for example, if you mask something or deal with something so long a certain way, you might not even realize what you're dealing with. And that's what me was, my desire to be active and energetic and be around people and be social, drinking, I ain't gonna say drugs, but just definitely drinking it was due to my anxiety. And when I was younger, I was always ripping and running. So when you rip and run, you're not paying attention to details, which was definitely my issue. But when you a kid, you don't pay that stuff no attention. When you an adult, you don't really pay that stuff attention until it starts to negatively affect you. And for me, it started to affect me when I became a parent, because when I became a parent, I wasn't able to do those things that I was basking it with and dealing with it in an unhealthy manner. I wasn't able, a lot of relationships were due to my anxiety, So definitely as I got older, I learned about it. I learned about the whole cycle. So anxiety, when not addressed, it results in depression. And, depression is a feeling of lost hope. So when you feeling like lost hope, what are you going to do? You're going to try to do something to find hope. And that's when I started going into my anxiety and depression cycle. But my depression doesn't last long. My anxiety really doesn't go away. But the results of me not dealing with it is depression. So what I've learned to educate people on is to better understand the whole cycle and don't just focus on the situation. You want to better understand the whole cycle, because as you understand the whole cycle, you will be able to better understand where you at in the cycle to do something. Because if I'm focused on my anxiety and I'm depressed, I'm not going to do anything about my anxiety. I may not do anything. I'm depressed. I don't know why I'm depressed. Because for me, when I'm getting depressed, I know when I'm depressed now. So I either choose to do something or not do something. And most of my depression is for me not being depressed, it comes to my hygiene, one, and it comes to my desire to do crazy stuff. So when I catch myself about to do something crazy, I'll be like, okay, Michael. Okay. I'll be like, when last time you took a shower, Michael? Okay. Cool. So for me, instead of taking showers all the time, I have to take baths, because that causes myself to sit down. If you take a shower, you can rip and run. So that's something personally I deal with. But when you're educating people on what they're going through, you want them to understand the whole thing. You don't want to dwell on, this. I give you an example, people with finances. People only got financial trouble when they broke. So, does it make sense to talk to them when they broke, or talk to them when they got money? Talk to them when they got money. Because they're better understanding the cycle. So when I'm going through my anxiety, I can't do nothing then. But when I get depressed, I can have a better conversation about anxiety when I'm depressed. Because it's like, Michael, what's going to happen when you get done being depressed? Yeah, better conversation. And just like people with finances, it's like, okay, cool. Now that you have money, what's going to happen when you don't have money? Then you can have better conversations. So that's what I want people to better focus on when it comes to mental health, is understanding their whole cycle. So for me, like, I have to constantly go to the gym. I have to constantly do something that's a healthy hobby. And, I have to respect my depression. When I get depressed, it's like, hey, Mike, you depressed. How do you get out of depression? Because I would give you an example, like, back in maybe like a few years ago, when I would go through my cycles, I would be like, man, I don't need to be drinking because I'm depressed. Alcohol is a depressant. And then I started learning, like, well, alcohol can be detrimental to your overcoming something if it is used as a substance to help you cope with it. And for me, like, I don't cope with alcohol. I used to. I have family members who do, but I don't cope with alcohol. Like, for me, if I want a beer, I'm going to get a beer. But I will say this. I do try to restrict my drinking to twice a week. I will say that I do try to restrict it to twice a week. Because I do have a family history of alcoholism. But, like, if I'm depressed or something, I'm not going to be like, man, I shouldn't be drinking, I'm depressed, That's a whole separate thing, Alcoholism is separate from your mental health. I would feel like alcoholism is the outcome of you not appropriately dealing with your mental health. I can go down that route, but I'm not going to sit here and guide myself or others to thinking that, like, even, people got drug habit problems. It's not because of their mental health not being attended to. It's the outcome of the situation. So for me, the outcome and relationship are like totally different, because to me the outcome is the separation of you doing something and the process of you doing it. It's the end result. It's like life and death. They're separate. You can relate them, but they're technically separate, because life consists of life born living. But as soon as you dead, life conversation is over. You're dead. So death is separate. So that's why I like to guide my attention to when I'm having these conversations, is the separation of those two things, because they're definitely like separate all the time. The mental health and things of that nature. But all right, peace out, holla.